Welcome to the British Esports Student Champs Cups. I am Waxin, joined by Bigfoot, bringing you all of the inaugural Apex Legends British Esports Cups, and I'm so excited to be here alongside a new face for British Esports. Bigfoot, welcome to the stream.
Oh, thank you so much for your warm welcome. I'm really excited to get into this. Students from all over the UK are going to be joining us tonight. There's total of 40 teams. Only the 20 best will make it through to the finals. So we're going to have a little look at the groups now, have a look at which teams have ended up in which group and who will be fighting each other today as well.
Yeah, I'm very excited to look at all of the teams, and we're starting with, I believe, well, obviously Group A. We're starting with Cambria, the Kai Cobra Spitters, Hullraisers, the Wolfpack Purple, the Celts, Confetti Arrows, GCS, Loughborough College Lycans, SGS First Shot, and the CYC Crusaders.
And do any of these teams stand out? Have you watched one of the Apex leagues before with British Esports?
Not quite, but I do recognize a lot of the names from some of the other esport titles here in Student Champs. Some of the teams that I have many esport teams showing us their colleges that really support their teams and have a good or even great setups. I definitely recognize the GCS Owls, the Confetti Arrows, the Loughborough College Lycans, of course, First Shot. The Kai Cobras, I think we had the pleasure of having one or two of their League of Legends teams last year, but also some new faces. I don't remember ever seeing a team from Cambria or Hullraisers. They don't ring a bell to me either. And maybe the CYC Crusaders as well might be a new face to the Student Champs. So it's great to see new schools and colleges getting involved with the Student Champs with the opportunity of Apex Legends.
Yeah, and it is sometimes the case. You might have one college or university that's a really strong Valorant team, and sometimes that's a gauge to go by for how good their other teams are. But sometimes there's curveballs. Some colleges might have an average LoL team, average Valorant team, but then an amazing Apex team or one singular Street Fighter player. So we can't necessarily go by that, and it's going to be really interesting to move through these games and see which teams stand up on top.
Absolutely, and we must keep in mind, it's 4 groups, and this is only Group A, so you don't even know. Obviously, there's no previous knowledge of the teams as we now take a quick look at Group B. If you want to take us through it, Bigfoot.
There we got Chi Cobra Spitters A, Hullraisers A, UCB Apex B, Alpha Alliance, CC Warriors, Craven College Crusaders, Guild Gen Z, which looks connected to the Guild organization, which is really good to see that they're getting in there with the younger lot and encouraging student esports as well. We've got MK Cryptic, St. Vincent Sharks, and GCSB. And what we will be seeing tonight is the previous group we just looked at, Group A versus Group B, for 3 matches on Stormpoint.
Yeah, very interesting. Again, some familiar teams in the Alpha Alliance, one of these colleges, I believe, all the way from Scotland that has fielded many teams over the years in titles such as Overwatch, and now it's beautiful to see them making their way as a debut alongside all of the other 39 teams for British Esports. The St. Vincent Sharks, probably one of the first teams I think I ever casted. I think it was Rocket League several years ago for Student Champs. So that's very exciting to see as we are wrapping up Group B. But yeah, do you recognize, obviously, other than Guild Gen Z, any other names with Bigfoot?
Well, I've worked mostly with university esports, and this league is universities and colleges mixed. But looking at the names, a lot of them are new to me, and I'm guessing it's mostly colleges here rather than universities. It would be nice to see a full breakdown. And I know on the next page on Group C, I think it might be, maybe Group D, that we do have NCL Vikings. I'm from Northumbria University myself, and we have Northumbria Vikings. So I had to double check what was going on there, and NCL is actually Newcastle College. So that is another example of a college being involved. There is, of course, a lot of BTECs in esports these days. A lot of the youth are really trying to get into the industry as players, observers, managers. There's lots of various roles, but of course, we do have many players with us tonight here from many different colleges and some universities as well.
Yeah, and we have to mention, over the next 6 weeks, all of the 40 teams that we are looking through right now will be battling in the group stage with the top 20 overall qualifying onto the grand finals that will take place across 2 weeks. So we have a lot of Apex Legends coming into the spring season here for everybody at home watching, but today we will only be focusing on groups A and B, as they will be playing 3 rounds of Stormpoint. But let's not forget about groups C and D. If we could get Group C right now on the screen, and we have the Kai Cobra Spitters B. The Kai Cobras, I think this is the 3rd team we see from their college.
It's a lot, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Coventry Crosshairs, of course, one of the most titled teams in the history of Student Champs. Hullraisers, again, with the 3rd team. The Wolfpack Orange, I think this is the 2nd Wolfpack team. CCSW Sandstorm, the Derby Diamonds, HSDC Storm Apex, the NCL Vikings that you previously mentioned, and of course, TCS Esports. Wow, Bigfoot, what does this tell you? The fact that we have so many of these, schools and colleges bringing multiple teams to our tournament.
Well, for me, it shows that esports has a bright future. You know, there's ups and downs in the esports industry. We're on a bit of a winter at the minute, but when you see so many youth trying to get involved, college level, university level, it really is promising for the future. And let's just hope the industry and the economy of esports can stay alive to really give all these players a good chance, and everyone else wants to get involved in the many other roles that exist within esports. And of course, I will try not to be biased towards my home team, the NCL Vikings. I did go to Newcastle College many years ago. But yeah, it's good to see them in here, and good to see teams from all over the UK involved.
I have to be completely honest with you. I'm all about having a favorite team, and I cannot wait to see which one is going to be my dark horse in the race for today, because I do love myself an underdog story. But obviously, week one, we don't have enough information about the players that we will have on the server to see which one will be starting off hot, as we are now getting ready, I believe, to see the fourth and final group, Group D. And wow, Coventry Crosshairs with yet another team, Bigfoot.
Yeah, there's a lot of. They must have a lot of players keen to get involved in Apex, and there might be some sort of intra-group conflict there as different teams from the same college try and make it through to the finals. And of course, it will be interesting if a college has fielded two amazing teams to see two of the same teams make it through to the finals, and maybe even in the end, in the final end zone together. That could be a bit of an interesting situation to look out for as we head towards the final couple of weeks. But of course, it is anyone's game right now. 40 teams, only half of them are going to make it through. So just got to see how things play out as we get into it for the first week tonight, and many more weeks to come before we enter into that dramatic final coming up.
Yeah, of course, and let's mention all the teams in Group D alongside the Coventry Crosshairs A. We have Cambria B, UCB Apex A, the BD Bears, the Colonel Cyphers, the Cronton Cyclones, the KC Esports Riverside Thunderhawks, which is probably my favorite name thus far, and CRC Inferno, which I do believe it's Cambridge Regional College Inferno. So yeah, I've already found my favorite team name today. It's Riverside Thunderhawks, but sadly, we're not going to cast them on stream this time around.
Yeah, you'll catch them next week. I will be away 1 week, that is next week, but should be around for most of the other weeks. And finals will actually be hitting you. I'll give you the dates now. It will be the 18th and 25th of April. They'll be the final 2 weeks. And there'll be a couple little gaps, Easter holidays, half term moving through. So we'll be mostly weekly with gaps for holidays, etc.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a long journey for the teams that want to make the kit to the grand finals, but I love the way our tournament is structured. You have so much time, even if you have a slow start, or you might not necessarily, feel yourself. You might have a day or two off. You have the chance of bouncing back in the last 4 weeks of group stage and, turning the result completely on its head and showing everybody that, you might not be the best on Stormpoint today, but who knows? Next week, when we go into World's Edge, that might be your playground, and that's going to be very important to see how these teams not only adapt, but they will get announced what the maps that they will be playing are a week in advance, so they have at least 7 days to practice and stream and get to the point where they might feel confident of dominating one map.
Yeah, and of course, talking of practice, we are reaching the end of Season 19, which took many changes, especially Stormpoint, the map itself. 40% of the Stormpoint map changed. They changed POIs, they changed a lot. A big storm came through the map, destroyed various things, changed fishing farms to the devastated coast, for example, completely changed the POIs. They arranged where the hot and high loot points were. There is still armories dotted around the map, 4 armories. There is also still the really big balloon at high point. But basically, 40% has changed. So it's good that the teams have had 3 months or so to practice on this, but if I'm not mistaken, I think that means there's going to be another change coming up in the middle of this tournament, which might throw a bit of a curveball for these players if the meta switches out in the next patch.
Yeah, but isn't that the best part? Because you don't want just to lose to the team that, has practiced over Christmas and over holidays and during one, some of your members might have exams, right? Let's throw them off. Let's throw in a couple of changes and let's see if they can adapt. Because that's what esports is all about, compared to traditional sports that have been mostly the same over the last, hundreds and thousands of years. When it comes to esports, every single, half a year or maybe even less on some esport titles, you get massive changes that must keep you on your toes. So you must show us a different dynamic, and it's all about the learning curve. That's why esport is such a great tool of learning in schools these days.
Yeah, so looking forward to that curveball. There's some meta changes I'd like to see. I'd like to see certain things buffed. Love to see more of a shotgun meta come out. But anything could happen, you know. The developers, they've thrown some curveballs in the past few patches and changed up the gun meta, changed the buffing and nerfing various agents. There is a very small selection of agents right now that people are using in the top tiers of pro play. And I was checking out the ranked match Predator agent picks. Found some interesting stats. We got Horizon 20% pick in Predator lobbies right now. Conduit, new agent, 12%. You know, that's quite high, but it will always be high for a new agent. However, Conduit has worked a way into the meta, of course. We've got Pathfinder on 10.9%, which I was surprised could be higher than Bangalore on 10, because in the pro leagues, Bangalore is definitely a lot more common than 10%. Yeah. And then Catalyst and Watson 2.3 and 2.5 respectively in the Predator lobbies. I couldn't find the data for the actual pro leagues. Maybe it hasn't came out yet. But it's the Predator lobbies are a little bit different. And what we'll see in the student champs is probably a mix of pro leagues, ranked lobbies, pub matches, and complete chaos and curveballs. It's going to be really interesting to see this meta develop throughout the league, and of course get that shake-up when the patch comes through.
And I love that you mentioned Catalyst, because I actually think Catalyst, I don't know if it needs a rework or maybe a bit of a nerf, but I think it's so oppressive, especially when you see it in high-level play. It just has such an impact, especially in the later zones of a round, that you kind of... it just feels overwhelming compared to most of the other controllers. But... well, we don't know if we're going to have the teams pick up a Catalyst, because it's also maybe not the easiest legend to run around the map, especially at the current level. We don't know what we're going to expect from the 20 teams that we are going to be watching today, but we're going to have to wait just a little bit longer to find out where they sit, as we are going to throw it to a quick break. But when we're back, we're going live with Game 1 of the inaugural Student Champs Apex Legends Cup. Stay tuned. And we are back. Well, first with the Apex Legends Student Champs Cup in Agent Select. I'm Waxin, joined by Bigfoot, and we're already seeing the teams making their decisions. And I'm surprised, actually, to see a lot of Bloodhound being picked already.
Yeah, like we were just talking about before, the meta is going to be a little bit different in this league, and there is plenty of Bloodhounds. There's going to be so many scans going off as we move forward to the smaller zones. It'd be really interesting to see how that plays out, because often Bloodhound is more of the curveball that you see now and then, and opposed to all the time.
Yeah, truly not something we were expecting, as we are now underway. And it's the debut of Apex Legends for the British Esports Student Champs. I am so excited to see what this first map has in store for us. Bigfoot. Okay, we are now following across the map. It is Storm Point. We mentioned in the pre-game analysis. You can see the teams on the left and the right, and we already have some of them dropping in. The confetti arrows are already heading towards the east side of the map, already landed, but we see some very late drops going towards, I believe, south portion of Stormfront. And what is your favorite drop spot on the map currently, Bigfoot?
It's pretty good. The new update's really good, because a lot of the high tier zones are around the edge. You've got Devastated Coast, Coastal Camp, Sonority Cave, the Mill, Down Beast, etc. around the outside. I love the Black Sands Islands, the place with like the free pineapples. That looks really, really good. Sometimes you end up with 3 or 4 teams dropping there, because it's a small but concentrated high loot zone on the edge of the map. So yeah, I guess my favorite place right now is either the pineapples or all the way down on Devastated Coast, because it's quite a quiet one. I do prefer to play a little bit slower these days myself.
I definitely know what you're talking about. When it comes to playing slow, I'm a bit of a scaredy cat myself, as we have already spotting some great loot found by, I think it was what was the team? Was it the Kai Cobras we were watching just earlier? I think that got some good shields already. But we are now hovering, I believe, waiting to see some of the action. I'm so excited to get into the first blood of the tournament. So keen to see who's gonna have first contact. And as I say that, we have Schmoodle getting one. And there's so many kills going in the favor of Disley Doof and Goji.
And DJD takes down Hazmat as well, so there's definitely a couple of fights going on. DJD, last member standing for their team, almost on the edge of life, does get a knock, but it's a very, very tricky situation to get out of. How many more players are standing for the team? There is one peeking now. DJD just on 1 HP, running through the smoke, and I think it might... No way! No way.
manages to salvage that. Well,
So
actually,
close.
great play from both teams, but obviously dropping in hot 50-50, and only one team can come out on top. The other will just have to wait patiently for the second round, as this is the Bloodhound in action. We already mentioned it. We're gonna get plenty of scans as we see both Benny on the Bloodhound and now Ushnug clearing around already with an R9. And we were talking about before we went live, Bigfoot, tell me, why do you love the R9 in the current meta?
And it's not just me that loves it. Every single Apex player right now is trying to get an R9 in their loadout for that close quarter combat. Super fast time to kill, super fast fire rate, super fast reload, good agility in it. You get the right scope on it, especially you can get that digital threat, and you got the Bangalore on your team. It is just monstrous weapon. And yeah, sometimes people might opt for the car, or if they can't find a R99, they'll stay with the car. And Nemesis as well actually has a very similar TTK as the R9, but it is a burst weapon, so people are using that a little bit less because they do prefer that full automatic, full spray down in the close quarters.
We already see, I believe, the Alpha Alliance trying to make a great rotation through the air towards the center of the map when we were watching the radar. But meanwhile, we are now back following Benny, Jope, and Astra. A Bloodhound, Bangalore pairing up alongside Jope. Very interesting to see. Are they going to find anyone rotating through this jungle? They're suggesting to each other. Meanwhile, with rotating where the big fight is happening, and that was it.
They come out on top. They've done it. Of course, that gold shield in Refrain might have helped out. We do see shield helping so much. That first fight, DJD and Schnoodle had a slightly better shield, managed to maintain that health a lot more against 1 HP. It is pretty clear who's going to come out on top. But yeah, really good pickup. Purple shield on Aston as well already. This is Guild Gen Z, so I've got high hopes for this team, you know, being a team that is associated with the Guild organization. It's going to be interesting to see if they can get like consistent final circles, which is what I'd expect if they've been finally selected to be part of the Guild organization at this age. But yeah, time will tell.
Meanwhile, we see Mini trying to take this duel, not really managing to hit the shots right now, but of a fighting will spray and will crack someone through the Bangalore smoke. But now we'll just have to reposition and reload. Only 80 bullets left, so it needs to find more ammo if they want to engage. But no, Schnoodle, Dripsy, and Hazma just disengaging completely. They don't want to have anything more in that fight, and this is the way to go. You just got to stay alive for as much as possible, play towards your strength, go towards that late game, and try to rack up as many points as you can in the later zones of this round.
Yeah, Schnoodle and Co did get that early team wipe, so avoiding that second fight and just getting out of there, trying to get a little bit more of a reset. I did see one of them on low armor. Maybe they've ran out of batteries, so maybe they just really need to get away before they take another fight, get some more loot together.
I gotta say, I love me a Pathfinder fresh. You're already my favorite player still alive on the current map, running the Pathfinder, hopefully allowing his team to just, you know, get the early high ground when it comes to zones 4 or 5, or even later on if they manage to stay alive to that point. Currently, only one of them with a blue shield, so still trying to find plenty of stuff. But look at the bullets. The R301 with 120 bullets, sorry, with 200 bullets actually, and a flat line for Easy Brother. Not looking too shabby.
Yeah, but again, interesting to see some of these agent picks. We've got a Newcastle. You wouldn't really find a Newcastle in a top lobby, or definitely not like a pro league. So really interested to see how people make use of these agents and if they are actually viable, because statistically you do have a less chance of winning by choosing a Newcastle over someone like a Horizon. You're talking about taking high ground with people like Pathfinder, but you've also got the tactical on Horizon, which is a lot more easy and a lot more regular. You can get your team up to high ground together because it's a tactical, not an ult.
No, absolutely. And let's see if they can manage to put it to work, as we have okay, very nice positioning already. I think it was the previous team we were looking at just inside the zone, but now we have moved on and we have a very nice angle holding the rotation in the zone. We see the Storm is pushing them in. I think there's a ping coming in. They spotted someone, but they're starting to throw, and okay, they're just going to rotate back into circle. They're not going to take this fight as they're getting sprayed in the back through the bush.
It's definitely good to see an Octane as well. Yeah, really good mix of agency, and that's probably one of the fun things about seeing a sort of more of a chaotic meta, is you do get to see a lot more of the agent pool, a lot more of the play techniques, rather than, you know, we do end up in stale metas in a lot of esports. Here we have it. They've spotted another team rotating. Are they going to shoot, or are they going to use that trigger discipline to get an advantageous angle? I don't think they've been seen, so they're going to try and sneak up for them. It looks like there is a smoke gone down. Maybe they have been spotted. This is, of course, St. Vincent Sharks, just on the edge of zone. quite far from the next zone as well. This team in front of them, what's going to be the play here?
Yeah, I think they're just awaiting to. They were waiting to get a 3-2-1 and try to beam one of the opponents, but it wasn't the case. And now the rotation will have to come through as the zone is not in their favor. But very interesting comp, like you mentioned, the Wraith, the Octane alongside the Bangalore. As we see a bit of a skirmish, I believe, it was between Atrox, which was okay. Never mind, we're back in a different side of the map for more action.
Yeah, the zone shifted northeast. So a couple of players down on that south end got quite far to go. This area that ended up being called Jurassic Park before the patch, before the change in the maps, has now had the Prowlers taken out, so it's more of just like a building and a POI now. Makes it a little bit easier to rotate through in the second and third zones, because when you had all those Prowlers and you had like 5 teams, it was absolute chaos here. So that was the change that I fully endorsed moving forward in this patch. But teams coming out of these gates going to try and make their way north. And this is the thing about Storm Point. You've got all these choke points and mountains and gates, and Cracked and Armor there. Gonna use the ult, prevent the push.
Nice disengage right now, coming in from Wenger. Just gonna fly above the Bangalore ultimate and with reposition, joining the team into the house. Has 12 shields and will find an evolved Evo shield. Very, very good rotation right now. Disengaging from the fight after baiting out the ultimate. And yeah, just having to wait and see where the opponents will approach them next.
GCSB here taking a moment. Does look like Apex Meme on the Wraith's going to try and make a safe rotation through. Portal off for the teammate. We've got Smuck down. Nitrox going to be the last player standing for the Chi Cobra Spitters C. There will nade thrown out. A little bit of flames there, trying to stop some movement. The movement has already happened.
Fully surrounded though.
Yeah, terrible situation to be in. At least they do have the scan every now and then.
And they are getting pursued in the back, shot in the bow, nice spray, and that's going to be an easy kill going in for It's Kappa. Espanol! We've got some international flavor here.
Well, you know, there's, various people do come to England and join our colleges and universities, so it is nice to see different countries represented as well, even though this is the British Esports Championship. Oh, we have a duo here, it looks like. So it appears that CC Warriors do not have a third player.
Maybe a bit of technical difficulties, you know, playing from school more often than not. You don't know what the facilities are like, or maybe an internet connection. Hopefully they will get their third, but it doesn't matter. They're still alive, doing better than 5 of the squads that have already been eliminated.
Yeah, good on them. And there's not too many players around them, I don't think. So it looks like they're pretty safe for now. They might even be able to make it further from the top 10, but definitely good tactic to play if you are a Geo is playing that sort of zone edging game, and that does seem to be what they're doing, trying to get their loot up before they get into any inner zone conflicts. But right now we're going to conflict coming up between UCB Apex B and Insanity's team. Oh, sorry, they're all on the same team. I apologize.
Meanwhile, oh my goodness, Aatrox dropped and Betty are in a sandwich position. They're just
That is
camping.
not a good situation to be in, is it?
Are they even aware? I don't think they know there's a team in the house. The two teams seem to be fighting across the team in the middle, but look at the Bangalore ultimate. We'll have to force a disengage, and we'll get away. We'll manage to pop some of the shields. The Bangalore ult just creating so much havoc, though, although no one will fall in the process, but the zone is going to push every single one back in. Blue Donut is going to have to join the team, and they've made it to round 3. This is not looking too bad, especially if you're one of these few teams that has managed to get away from that skirmish outside of the zone as the storm was approaching. It's very hard when you get ulted just as the storm is pushing you. You sometimes get punished, but yeah, the rotation happening very swiftly.
Yeah, they thought they had a good vantage point. They had some high ground on another team, but then the chaos came in. Another team comes to third party the whole situation. The Rolling Thunder comes out from the Bangalore, and the retreat was definitely the best thing to do. Reposition. Ooh. The zone is going to be moving in 56 seconds. It is definitely worth getting that high ground. They are all playing next to this big mountain. Oh my days, look at the southwest side of the zone. That's where we've just came from. It's going to be absolute chaos as they try and make it towards the next circle.
Meanwhile, I noticed the Kai Cobras were across the map on an island of their own, very far away from the zone, but no opponents to kill them as we have, oh my goodness, everything and the kitchen sink being thrown in, trying to get this kill, but Heinz hiding behind the pillar with the knife, Watson coming, Catalyst wall, sorry, as well, blocking the view, and they're getting out of sight, they're trading, but look at the reveal from Bangalore. Sorry, it's not the Bangalore, it's the Bloodhounds, and they're trading to have fallen. It's Noodle in a 1 versus 2 and doesn't come out on top as Banger Mini managed to kill everybody. Apex is healing in the back line, and that was a great victory coming in from, I think, the GCS team.
Yeah, we saw Schnoodle with an early victory, but unfortunately unable to clutch it out that time. Too many players swamping them. So that will be Schnoodle's team gone. Now looking at GCSB, who got the kills there. Going to get the rep. Oh, going to get the finish off there as well.
Okay. I mean, you don't have to see it, right?
Little finisher. The scan goes out. Doesn't catch anyone else. GCSB do have a chance to get the reset. There's no one around them. Lots of loot to get back into the boxes. We've got Banger, Apex, Mean, and Mimi here, but we do have a bit of a Crimson Gaza Rat on the water wheel. Let's see how this turns out.
I love this position, and I think, if I'm not wrong, Crimson Gaza might just be in the zone that position, but yeah, we are going back to Apex, Banger, and Mini. They've been racking up a couple of kills, taking out some squads away. Meanwhile, across the map, Apex Mini has taken a kill across the map, but look at Mini just trying to throw all of the utility, and the grenade coming in will try to get the opponent to show themselves behind that rock as the zone is pushing them in.
Many going to get the shield battery off. They did get scanned a second ago, but no one's pushed them. So there is one team aware of their location. As I'm speaking, it happens again.
Yep.
But not currently being pushed. Still able to get their reset going. This gravity cannon is going to take you out into the middle of nowhere. So you don't want to be jumping into that. But a reposition round, finish off the player there.
Okay, catching someone by surprise, but oh my goodness, look at Steelflesh just trying to take this dude with a mobile minigun. We're not going to get to see much more of that for now, as we're switching to Cool Fighter, getting pushed back, jumping through the wall, trying to disengage. Blue Donut gets taken away. Look at the pursuit right now, just jumping on top of the opponent, trying to get the second kill.
Yeah, there's a lot of hunger for kills. It's what we like to see as well. Lots of aggression, and the circle is just getting smaller and smaller. 10 squads left. Maybe closing in. A couple of these players that have got this high ground are going to have to exit this high ground. They will have to move down very soon. 40 seconds until they have to do that.
And the Blue Donut will fall in the end, not manage to get rezzed by the teammates, as Cool Fighter is just trying to completely disengage, running away from the hill advantage. Steelflesh and Cool Fighter losing their teammates. Still 2 players alive, trying to stay alive and maybe find some more shields, as they seem to be very low on HP. Meanwhile, Endless lost his life, as we have TTV clips, and Giuseppe? Yeah, we'll go with that. Giuseppe trying to also get all the way. Nice rotation around the building, breaking everything, joining spots another. It's spraying around, punch in. Very beautiful play from Giuseppe that gets something that should have never happened as a 1 versus 2 player.
That is insane. And also, not to mention, taking control of the crafter, able to now craft the teammate banner and craft the mobile respawn beacon. Maybe they're going to get their 3rd player back.
Goal, running away, a sliver of health. Meanwhile, it's Kappa, KCV, Aston, trying to come behind it. But look at Refrain. I don't think Refrain is part of their team. He's just sneaking behind them. Or maybe, no. Is Refrain with them?
Oh.
I think Refrain just has the gold shield. I think Refrain is with them. Yeah.
So each player has a different color. That's what threw me off at the start as well. I thought it was different teams with the different colors, but it's a color for each player inside one team.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we see KCV bot just trying to get some shield back. Again, 2 players. It seems to be the story in most players, as we have very narrow circle. Storm gets taken out, as Refrain and his squad will be trying to go and loot to see if they find anything else. Great attempt from Storm, though, breaking into the top 10, at least in the upper echelon of this first round of Student Champs. But this team that we're following right now, I gotta be honest with you, I think they're looking in a prime position to win, as they have everything in the world that they would want to have at this point.
Yeah, this is Guild Gen Z, and it looks like what we said at the start might have been correct. They really know what they're doing. They've got the right positioning. They're going to take a really, really good reposition here. Even with this zip line to push a team inside the building. There is one team inside this building and one team inside another. It looks like they're going for the aggressive push, Guild Gen Z. Have they scanned the right building? No, there was 2 squads left inside the buildings. So now there'll be 3 buildings full of people. This zone is going to be a heavy building fight, window to window, etc. Not so much open space, but when that final circle starts closing in, everyone will have to leave these buildings, unless they're lucky enough for it to close in on them.
Nice replacement. As you can tell, I think Aston dropped to recharge the shield, and its Kappa just took the place in order to hold the windows from the lower ground, the building that they were fighting with earlier. And we see a bit of a spray, I think, dealing some damage. It's fresh right there. Some chip damage to the opponent. It's not going to do too much at this moment in time, as we have 6 squads left with 17 players still alive.
Yeah, that's quite a good final zone. We were unsure if we'd have a packed one or an empty one, but it's pretty packed so far. And the ring is now closing. 6 squads still standing. It's going to get extremely intense as we move forward. We do have Guild there, all full health, all full shield, very good positioning. Right here, we do have Hull Raisers B, looking good as well, but Easy Brother, only on the white shield. Possibly recently revived. Getting some kills out the window nonetheless. Easy Brother taking down Jop X. Kills happening elsewhere on the map. Apex, Meme, Benny, and its Kappa getting more kills.
Nice damage, though. Very good. And now we have Judas crack. How cracked can you be? Can you crack your opponent? But no, gets shot in between and gets... oh my goodness. Third party from the east side. Has to reposition and pop some shield. But look at Banger. Look at Mimi. They're trying to spray from behind the building as 2 of their players are sneaking in. But Banger loses his shield. The duel is still happening. But look at Aston's high ground. Spots the opponent. Waits for them to get in the burst within the message. 2, 3, 4. Getting them in white. But not managing to get the kill just yet.
Yeah, Guild Gen Z's positioning, their aim, their loot is just all looking so good, but we've lost 2 teams since the circle closed in on the final zone. We got 36 seconds until it closes in on all of them. Gen Z, Guild Gen Z looking so healthy. Let's see if they can take this to the final stretch. There's only 4 squads remaining. They've got a good angle out the window here. The digital threat does spy someone. The focus is also on another building. Very, very good game sense here. Lots of awareness as they're monitoring all angles outside of all the windows.
Time is ticking. And it's ticking for Guild Gen Z. Meanwhile, KCV and Goal still alive despite playing in a player disadvantage for what feels like half of this map. Goal though, maybe taking an unfavorable duel. Meanwhile, KCV doing the same across the map. They need to play together. You need to gather up. You still have 1 more shield you can pop for KCV. Goal does not have anything else left either to recharge. They're just staying in this corner.
Reasonably close to the center. They might be able to play the time on this one.
Oof.
I do have a feeling that once they come and get up against all 3 players of Guild Gen Z, they're going to be in a world of trouble.
Still 11 players alive, and look at the catalyst wall. That's what I mentioned, and look at the rotate right now. That's going to allow, I think, Guild Gen Z to have right behind the wall, just getting closer and closer to their next objective. But look at KCV playing the very edge, and now will follow through alongside the wall.
They're playing very carefully. Confetti arrows there with only 2 players remaining, doing their best to get ahead. Let the other squads fight it out and try and time the entrance into the battle at exactly the right moment. Back to Guild Gen Z here. We see them with high ground, getting some excellent spray downs. Armor's cracked. Someone gets killed. It's looking so good. There it goes. Oh my days. 2 squads left. Guild Gen Z haven't taken a scrap of damage in this fight just yet. What can Freshy and Kai do on such low health? I don't think they can do much as Guild Gen Z take the first round. Wow.
What a performance, and I gotta commend Refrain. Didn't refrain himself at all from killing everybody left, right, and center. I think it was over 7 kills, maybe even 9 or 10 kills to end up right there. We're gonna see in a moment. Absolutely dominating performance, start to finish, from the drop spot through the mid game, and an absolute masterclass in how you should play the final zone. And that's what we talked about, Bigfoot. It's the student champs. Sometimes you just get caught by surprise by a team such as Guild Gen Z, that they come in storming the entire roster of the other 19 teams, and they show that they are a level above. Do you believe they're gonna manage to carry this on in maps 2 and 3?
Going by what we've just seen, I think they are a strong front runner in this race. You might see something different in the next games, but every time the camera landed on Guild Gen Z, they were in the right place, doing the right thing. Do you know what I mean? They really were on form. So it's high chances that they're going to be in these final circles for most of the games, looking at what we just saw. But, this might have been a warm-up match for some of the other teams. And
Absolutely.
also, they might get caught off guard. Early drop zone, can't quite get a gun. Someone might catch them off guard. We've seen it happen to TSM at times. That TSM getting taken, being the first team to drop sometimes. And we all know what TSM's history is otherwise. So anything can happen in a battle royale like Apex. And we'll see what happens moving forward.
Yeah, 14 kills, and it will be Guild Gen Z taking the first map of today. But we are going to send it to a quick break. When we're back, let's see if they can go back to back. Welcome back to the British Esports Student Champs Apex Legends Cup. It's the inaugural edition. I'm Waxin, joined by Bigfoot, bringing you all of the actions from, well, now the second map. We are looking at Stormpoint, and let's take a quick look at the standings, Bigfoot, after the first map.
Yeah, no surprises once we saw the final kill count. We did have pretty high stuff there. This is Group A, GCS, placement points 9, eliminations 9. Confetti Arrows 5, eliminations 6. All Razors placement points 7, eliminations 2.
Yeah, I believe the GCS is the team that got second place that last round.
Yeah, I think so. That's pretty high. But of course, first place, if we switch over to the next group, Group B, we'll see. There you have it. Guild Gen Z, placement points 12, eliminations 14. That is very high. We said it might happen, just seeing that guild logo. Said it's likely, and of course, they definitely must have a good coach with them, because look at that. That is insane. So many eliminations, so much perfect placement around the map. Every time the camera landed on them, they were in the right place. They were in the right thing. Let's see if they can pass it off for the next map and the map after that, and see if they can steamroll the whole tournament or not. If anyone is going to be a challenge for them, maybe a team will learn their favorite POI drop zone, and maybe they'll start to get contested.
Yeah, well, maybe more than one team, because after we saw 14 eliminations, I don't know if one team is more than enough, but yeah, that was the first one. The first map, but we are so, I'm personally so excited to see if the GCS squads can replicate that, because currently the GCS A squad is topping the A group, and the GCS B squad is second in their group, Bigfoot. So yes, of course, not managing to keep up with the Guild Gen Z squad, but hey, it's not a race, it's a marathon.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for some of these teams to catch up if some of these stronger teams with like 14 eliminations stay far ahead.
Yeah.
But of course, nonetheless, this is it's also not just about winning this league. It's about experience. People want their experience in the esports industry. They want their experience in professional matches, and you never know. Some of these teams that have got no kills and low placement points, this might still be the start of their path to professional play. It's just where their story begins. Everyone's story starts somewhere. And that is the beautiful thing about these student and college esports leagues, is that anyone can take part and anyone can get that experience and get their foot on the ladder. But how high will they climb? Is the real question.
Well, we're about to find out as we're jumping into the character selection for map number 2. Are we gonna expect many changes, you think, here, Bigfoot, or are teams gonna stick to what they have done all the previous week in practice for today?
I don't expect too many changes. Maybe the team that picked Newcastle last time might not this time. It's a shame, named after my hometown, but just such a useless agent when it comes to pro play. He's the agent I'm gunning for the biggest buff. Get Newcastle on top.
Newcastle on top. Also, if I'm not wrong, I think I saw slightly less Bloodhound. Still, I think at least 6 teams went for it. But hey, way little Bloodhound compared to the 15 I think we had in the first game. I don't even know. So many players wanted to go for that reveal, and it didn't really pay off for many of them, as we have very nice northeast to southwest drop zone. We have a goal and endless jumping in, representing, of course, none other than the Hellraisers A team and the Confetti Arrows, kind of splitting lightning rod.
This is, of course, Guild Gen Z. Let's see if they're having a hot drop or not. I can't see anyone else on their point of view, so it might be alone, but of course it depends where they're looking, if we get to catch out the other squad or not. Going for the early vehicle, definitely. Good for the rotations when the zone drops.
Yeah, great play. Obviously wanting to stay on top of the rotation, especially as they dropped kind of close towards the edge of the map. We see Aston here just repositioning the vehicle. Meanwhile, it's Kappa and Refrain just going through most of the looting. But speaking of the looting, look at all the crates just available here. Meanwhile, Master Harvey, Mosfeld, and Insanity are in one of the huge pods alongside Aquasi, Nitro, and Yushmak 420. Neither of these players rings a bell to me, Bigfoot. That tells me that they had a bit of a skirmish before getting to the middle portions of that last map.
Yeah, and as we want to do is crack. This is Hull Raisers B. Looking like they're pretty peaceful for now as well. There's a little bit of tension in some of these drop zones, but nothing's really kicked off just yet. They're taking their time to loot up, and that generally means both teams haven't quite got exactly what they want to start the fight. And they're going to take it a little bit slower. Getting that loot together right now. There wasn't too many hot drops. There was a couple teams that didn't quite make it into the lobby, of course, and there's plenty of drop zones around the map, so generally people have had a peaceful drop. We haven't seen a big fight just yet. As we move on to MK Cryptic, we do see a fight beginning. It does look like they've already dropped one player.
Yeah, Dinky Dale taken out by, I believe, Blue Donut, who has had a pretty good showing until was taken out mid-game last time around. And now, 3 versus 2, they're trying to pursue the remaining 2 players while they have a player advantage.
St. Vincent Sharks as well. Huxel's got a very, very good shield so far. Getting that purple shield so early, definitely really useful for the early fights. I think they marked an enemy, so it looks like they're in the hot pursuit right now.
Yeah, they are really, really confident. And I guess it might just be confidence, or it might be a bit of desperation, realizing that they need to get some points from the kills. As department, because, you know, placement is good, but if you can just kill the entire lobby, it might just be even better.
Well, yeah, we did see kill Gen Z. They actually got more kill points than they did placement points.
When they won.
Yep. And they won, yeah, and they came first. Okay, Judas Crack's team's getting into a bit of bother right now. Jobs and Benny rotating around them.
Easy, brother. Not this map. Maybe next time around, as we have a lot of trades, actually. Player dropped on both sides, but no, nice swing in. Will just gonna crack the player now. We're just gonna use the shotgun to secure the kill, and will get taken out. Nice start, as we have Fresh again in a 1 versus 3. Similar to last map, I think we had Duties Cracked and Fresh being the 2 players. I think Easy Brother was the one that disconnected earlier in the first map. You remember that, Bigfoot?
Yeah, there was a little bit of disconnection. I mean, there is unfortunately some teams that didn't even manage to connect to this lobby. There could be many reasons for that, but what that does do is it means there's less kill points available, but a little bit easier to make it to the final zone overall. Good to see Loughborough College Lycans putting their name on the board as they take down 2 players from Hull Raisers B, but right now we are looking at Guild Gen Z going in for an early fight. Will they manage to start getting kills back on the board, or will they lose their placement points in this fight? Let's keep going.
Yeah, so far so good, and I don't even know what to say. We're seeing a lot of Horizon today as well, something that you did mention, but we weren't expecting to see so much Horizon.
Bangalore and Horizon, and then Catalyst or sometimes Watson takes up that final spot. But yeah, Horizon for getting up on that high ground in those last circles is just so crucial. It's a tactical, it recharges. You can just keep on going up to the high ground. You can get spots if someone doesn't have a Horizon that they can't get to, and it's kind of a must. But yeah, I think Gen Z got a kill or so, but there's definitely other players around because they're still standing on their toes, keeping an eye out on various Horizons.
What do you think of Refrain? Obviously, I think the top killing player on the server in the previous game with, I think, 9 kills it was on Refrain, running alongside his teammates, obviously. Rather quiet, because we didn't really talk much about his character, but like in the kill department, it was absolutely flawless.
Yeah, that is a lot of kills. That's 3 squad wipes for 1 player. It's crazy. It would be good to see if they even got a full squad wipe themselves as a solo, but the sum total of 9 kills is really, really high.
Oh, we're following Alpha Alliance here with Listo. Shout out to Listo. Great player, great person. I know Listo. If that is the Listo that I know from Alpha Alliance, who knows? He might have multiple players or people with the same nickname. But yeah, we didn't see anything, any action of them in the first map, so maybe they got taken out quite early. As like you said, we see this Horizon just jumping up, spotting an opponent, throwing utility on their head, and Hawkeye, which H-Ben trying to fight this, and I don't think this is a favorable fight for them.
Yeah, Dequisha Ninja's throwing that ult down with, followed up with Arc Stars. Hawkeye has to retreat on extremely low health, but when you're on the back foot, the fight nearly never goes your way. Once you're running away in Apex, it's generally it. And there you see it, completely pursued. It's going to be a finisher right now.
Beautiful.
Did a couple of those. It's looking good. So I think that's one player standing. But of course, that is 2 kills for St. Vincent's shots there. Dequisha Ninja getting the health back in. It was actually Pixels using that ult, I apologize, but yeah, they look pretty comfortable now, and I think one player managed to get away from them.
It's okay. You don't want to risk throwing your life away just to kill a full squad. You're happy just getting 2 out and getting 2 points for your side. They will find a few more crates, trying to see if there's anything. We'll find the R3. We'll pick it up alongside the Rampage. Yeah, the loot is looking very good, choosing what they want to add to their stock. And one of the aspects that we haven't really touched upon, Bigfoot, is the usage of the grenades. Probably some of the most oppressing pieces of utility that we see in top-tier play. A lot of the teams have stayed away from using them early on in that map number 1. And I would love to see more utility usage really, really early on to get yourself to the mid to the late portions of the zones.
Yeah, especially when combined with Horizon's ult, you know, that gravity just pulls the players into that landing spot for the grenade. And there, speaking of grenades, we've got someone, it looks like someone was snared, and, oh my days, and the Arc Star too. Alpha Alliance Esports 6, not much health and no shields there. Gonna heal back up, but only white shields. We do have Alpha Alliance. The rest of the team on purple shields, looking pretty comfortable. It would be nice to see Esports 6 get a higher shield for this fight, but there's no time. It's just going to have to take this fight with what they've got. The PK coming out on the peaks. A little bit of damage there. Getting rotated on. It's going to be hard to do the 1v2, but some good damage sent off. Unfortunately, Listo will go down. Benga getting the kill.
Benga, one of the players that we did follow a bit in map number 1 with a great impact, again getting another kill. Listo taken out. Is our Haggy and Esports 6 going to do anything? No, they get caught by the Horizon, and Benga finishes them all off. Beautiful 3K from the player of, I think, GCS Owls B. Amazing, amazing. If you're the GCS Owls, you're very happy. You got 3 kills, and you are now looting everything. Look at the ammo on the Spitfire. It's great rotation, and mini Benga and Apex memes already back in pole position to make a statement yet again.
Yeah, we did speculate about Guild Gen Z, 9 kills. Did they get a team wipe? But we definitely saw a team wipe there. Benga getting all 3 kills on the team. Shooting up to be the kill leader. Really, really comfortable spot to be in. And let's see if GCSB can keep this going and end up in the final zone with plenty of kills and some good placement points, because right now there's still 15 squads left, and if you go out now, even these small handful of kills is not going to do that much for your placement. 4 or 5 points. You want to be getting a little bit higher. They do spot some more enemies making this rotation, but of course they're making their way to the zone, and that might be a little bit more important than taking a fight.
Probably Mini is the only player out of all of them trying to run this Bloodhound that has had any success, constantly using that reveal in good positions, either to clear an area or just to spot the opponent. So I'm glad to see some success on the Bloodhound, because I love the character. It's just not the most go-to when it comes to, oh, what is your first top 3 that you would choose when you want to win a tournament.
Yeah, we've seen a few picks like that. But not many of those teams did make it to the final circle. When we got to the final circle, we did see a concentration of the more meta agents. And when I said the last round, it's kind of a probability thing. You're picking like a Newcastle or a Seer, and you are just quite literally reducing your chances of having the upper hand against opponents. Whereas, other agents will give you that upper hand in more situations. Team 17 here, Guild Gen Z. So they've spotted another team. They're pretty comfortable inside the zone. See if they take this fight or if they go. It looks like they're going to reposition into this hut. We did see 2 teams land in these huts. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Mosvel already downed.
Switched in just in time to see Mosvel getting taken out, but still will get resurrected. You should have plenty of shields and HP to get them back unless they're going to get pushed.
Yeah, quite an important reset. It's good they got that in. Currently observing confetti arrows. Trying to avoid these shots, though.
Storm R, I think, was getting shot below half HP. Meanwhile, Apex Memes, we were looking at them just a few minutes ago, getting a kill somewhere onto Dripsy.
Does Mosfeld not have any batteries?
He can drop. Master Harvey has plenty, but meanwhile, Banger, Apex Memes, and Mini, another squad, a wipe, I believe. Yes, they have. Dripsy, Hazmat, and Infused get taken out, and it's gonna be 6 kills, I believe, in total for the GCS Owls B.
And Apex Meme got all of those knocks, so that's a squad fight for Apex Meme. This is a squad to watch. We might have the challenges for Guild Gen Z here.
We did mention GCS Owls B were, I think, in second place after Gen Z B in Group B after that map number 1. And let's look at them. They find themselves in a pretty interesting positioning on the map right now. They will have to continue their rotation very, very swiftly. But look at Guild Gen Z. They are the ones fighting right now. We're encountering St. Vincent Sharks in just a matter of seconds.
It's very, very good. Only 1.5 games through to see a rivalry forming. It's what we want to see moving forward in this. But of course, the groups will be split up. It is a round robin. Every group plays every group. So these teams might not meet again until the finals once all the groups have played each other. But when we do see GCS versus Guild Gen Z again, it could be very, very exciting. We haven't seen the other 2 groups yet, so there's even more rivalries and narratives to find. But Insanity and Mosvel very low on health. Insanity goes down. The gravity well comes out. More shots sent out. Yeah. And the Rolling Thunder too. What a nightmare. I think it might be all over. Mosvel and Insanity taken down.
Easy pickings right there. Meanwhile, Cool Fighter trying to put the Sentinel to work, using the sniper bullets, not really connecting there, but at least will push an opponent away as Cool Fighter has an assist, so they did get into an engagement with someone. 12 squads left. That means 6 have fallen as 2 haven't connected, but 33 players.
Yeah, and Cool Fighter opting for the Sentinel, you know, it's another gun you might not really see in the top tiers of Apex in smaller zones, but the beautiful thing about these university leagues, you do see more of a mix of the meta. The duo, Splendid Rat and Cool Man, getting a kill there.
Very good.
Was that a full team they wiped out as well?
I believe so.
G Cobra Spitters A. They've only got 2 players, but they're holding their own right on the edge of zone. They're going to take it slowly moving forward and try and enter into the final fight at the right time to come out on top. Endless Decepti and TTV clips. It is Hole Raisers A. Very nice high point. They can be seen from many angles, but they will have lots of angles on everyone moving around. As long as they don't get surprised from behind, they should be okay.
Nice bullets coming in as we go, jump straight to the fight. Mimi, Banger, and Apex Memes with a lot of action getting in right now. Getting the kill onto goal and now spraying across, but Mini, getting lower HP, has to reposition and will have to pop a big shield. Just hiding behind the rocks. Banger and Apex Memes joining Mimi. They are with the backs towards the zone that will be slowly pushing them. It's 15 seconds before it gets going. Look at Endless, Decapi, and TTV Clips just trying to hold them behind. With the backs towards the zone, looking through the crates, trying to find any gap, trying just to spot them. But look at them to their south. There's another trio. No big shields, but DJ, Goji, and Digsley are just playing for placement. If they have the opportunity, they could third party this.
GCSB have the information about Hole Raiser sitting on the top of that rock, but what are they going to do about it? It looks like they're doing a slow rotation and an ambush. Let's see how this goes for them.
Banger just right now playing like the king of the world on top of this rock. Yeah, so much confidence though. But I guess when you have I don't even know, 5 kills. You must be feeling it, jumping on top of 2 more players, and I think it's the duo you mentioned earlier.
Wow.
And 1 versus 2, Banger, maybe overconfident despite Endless getting taken out. Decappy and TTV Clips still in their spots. 1 taking the portal and repositioning themselves. Has to be a disengagement. Endless will be left to die. Or no, sorry, Endless is... How did Endless die here then? I'm so confused. Never mind, we get Mini. Another bit of action, but no, keeps getting sprayed back.
Losing Benga. Oh no, sorry, losing Benga for a brief second was a nightmare, but Benga is back up. Endless needs a revive as well, but we do see them desperately trying to get their health back together, trying to get the Endless reset. Back to the 3v3, as long as Endless can get their health back up before the fight recontinues. And that creeping up on that rock was so confident. It's actually a little bit of a shame that they'd already dropped down, but what it did was change the location of the fight. It didn't stop the fight happening, and it's still going on right now. Apex meme extremely low. Mini shields are gone, but they look pretty good moving forward. Another angle comes in, though. Absolute side shot there. Going to be really hard to get away from, but keeping pushing to try and stop the revive, and there we have it.
But it's only Mini. Banger getting lower and lower. Can Mini get to them? No, I think they're abandoning. It's going to be Mini alone, left alive. Meanwhile, in the backline, Digsley gets shot and taken out, and I think it was none other than TTV Clips. The action down the south side of the rock is non-stop, but DJ manages to res the teammate. And they are still a full trio. 7 squads left with 13 players, and no, I just said that. I jinxed them. One of them gets taken out. Can they res them once again? Digsley being protected. Mini's still alive, doing so much work.
Same, I know, Mini's still alive. 6 squads left, you know, and with the amount of kills that they've got, they're still going to get a half-decent amount of points, but Mini just desperately trying to get away from the spray down, but will be taken down by Aston GB, and there we have it. GCS going out in 6th place.
We're now following a Team 5. I do believe this is the Celts. CAVC, the Confetti Arrow, sorry, the Confetti Arrow still in play, and meanwhile also Aston refrain its Kappa. Guild Gen Z still alive, 4 kills for Aston this time around. It's not refrain getting all the action, and they're playing in a very nice position. 1 on top, 1 in the middle of the rock, and 1 on low ground, but they have 2 players just underneath them. Is KCV going to be sneaking up upon them, or just tries to stay alive to get as many points as possible? Speaking of players, oh my goodness! Yes. 10 kills for Cool Man!
It's insane. The duo as well, man. Duo queuing, 10 kills. They're in the top 5. They've overtaken GCS with only 2 players. And of course, Guild Gen Z are going to be very, very happy to see GCS go out ahead of themselves. You know, it's going to stop that basement point competition, but I do suspect they will meet again in the finals. It does look like Refrain spied out this duo, and it's going to be interesting to see what duo can do against one of our top squads, but 5 squads in total remain. 28 seconds till this zone starts closing in. It's about to get messy.
9 players alive, a full trio, a duo, and 4 other players with a dream, I believe. You want them to fight. You want the top fraggers. You want the Guild Gen Z to fight against the top scorers. You want them to take each other out. So if you're a solo still in this game, you want to rack up at least 1 or 2 more placement points. Is the zone going to be coming in your favor, though? Look at the positioning, refrain, and yeah, it's the Catalyst. That's why you want to have it, and that's why you want to get in the late game with the Catalyst. But look at those 2 teams, 2 players on top, 2 underneath, and the Catalyst World's about to come in.
Yeah, completely slicing up the territory here. Unfortunately, there's a duo fight, and it's not going in the favor of our 10-kill champion. But there we have Refrain. Even more kills for Refrain.
Another one!
So my days.
Oh my goodness. Throwing in some utility, but no, they get shot in the back. It's a solo player just jumping in the zone, sacrificing themselves to the lords, and it's gonna be Guild Gen Z with another dub. Bigfoot, can they be stopped?
Back-to-back wins already. I don't know if they can, mate. They just look so good. It's like, it's every time the camera gets on them, they've got one of the best positions in the zone, especially, of course, in these smaller circles. You know, in these smaller circles, its placement is so important. And every time we see them, they've got the high ground. They've got no one behind them apart from the zones to their back. They're full health, full shields. Like, I mean, it would be really, really nice just to see their point of view for the whole thing. Obviously, we can't and won't do that, but just to see their progression from perfect spot to perfect spot every single time. It's a little bit of a lesson for some of us lesser players like myself.
And first map was a kill galore. The second map from them was a positioning masterclass. They got to the second to final zone, and they only had, I think, 3 or 4 kills, which is not too shabby, but for their standards, they didn't want to play as aggressive. They had a different rotation, and like you mentioned, playing with the backs towards the zone, always in a good position, and we saw them end it without dropping any single player in the process. I'm speechless, Bigfoot, and hopefully the players are gonna find something to try to stop this momentum that the Guild Gen Z is building, and we're gonna find out if someone manages to find their secret weakness after a short break. Welcome back to the British Esports Student Champs Apex Legend Cup. Group A and Group B waxing joined by Bigfoot Cast. And Bigfoot, we know who's leading. We don't need to talk about him, but let's take a quick look at the leaderboard to see the teams that are 2 through to 20. And we have, I'm just going to ignore, the obvious one. UCB Apex A somehow making their way with 40 points, only 7 behind Guild Gen Z. I'm speechless. Like, what?
Yeah, there's some really interesting stuff happening tonight. You can see there, follow the eliminations right down to 12. That's Chicobra Spitters A. All 12 of those kills are in one game, and they're just a duo. So if they ever get a third player, we've got to watch out for them. But unfortunately, placement points 8, they did get taken out slightly later on in the zone. But although there's only 2 of them, definitely a team to watch out for. The fact that they could get 12 kills, which was as many as Guild Gen Z got in the first game, is something to behold. That is a sight to see, and really interested to see if they can get a third player and what that might do for them moving forward.
Yeah, meanwhile, 2 of the GCS teams and the top 5, both in groups A, B, so that's beautiful to see from their side. 21 points, neck and neck. GCS B, we saw them getting 10 kills in that previous map, but not enough points for placement just yet, as we're now looking for 11 to 20. We've got the CC Warriors with great placement points, 10 placement points and only 1 elim. Bigfoot, this tells me that they are a team that really knows how to rotate around the map.
Yeah, and we're seeing that from our top team, just how important that is. Positioning is one of the most important things in Apex. If you can make it to the right place in that circle as it starts to close in, you're going to have an extremely advantageous point to get your kills up as well. Kills come second to me. I think placement is what it's all about. But once you've got that right place, and if you've got the right loadout, you can hopefully farm up the kills and add to the placement points. Is where you really start to find that lead in a leaderboard.
And I do have to mention, my apologies, this is the entire leaderboard for Groups A through Group D. So not just Groups A and B that we have been seeing on stream today. These are the updated results with everything from the B stream as well. That's why I was a bit shocked to see an unknown team in second place, because they have been dominating groups C and D respectively, which Bigfoot is great for us because we have a Titan of our own. I said let's ignore them, let's not mention them, they're just wiping everybody left, right and center, but let's talk about them. It is Guild Gen Z. Why do you think they are currently doing so much better than anybody else in their opposition? Well,
when I saw that logo at the start, I did suspect they were a hand-picked squad with a hand-picked coach. And so there's probably, the right kind of team behind them. And of course, some of these other teams might be a little bit more ragtag, less organization behind them, but they literally have an organization behind them. So that is a lot to do with where their strength comes from. In Newcastle, there's a lot of football teams. They have these academies So where they pick a bunch of different players and they train them up. And you know, on Newcastle United, we have a 17-year-old player right now, fresh out the academy. So all the best to Guild Gen Z players, and maybe we'll start to see similar things happening in the esports world, where these organizations create academies for university and colleges, and that could actually be would be really beautiful to see. More and more organizations investing their time and money and coaches into the college and university level of esports. I'd love to see more of this, and looking at the results, I think we might.
I mean, it's definitely paying off thus far for the Guild Gen Z squad, but hey, we've seen them slightly, well, it's hard to say they quiet down. They won both games, 2 out of 2. With that being said, I'm interested to see, is this more of a showcase of, oh yeah, all 3 of us are going to frag, because at first we had, I forgot the player name, sorry, the player with R, top fragging with 9 or 10 kills. Last round we have Aston that had, I think, 5 or 6 kills, and now there's also the third player, the support player, the utility player of the team. Is this going to be his time to shine and rack up all the kills, or is it maybe they're just, you know, getting slightly more and more quiet because you know, they're in cruise control. They want 2 maps. They don't really need to focus that much. And maybe that's going to be the opportunity for a team, maybe like the GCS Owls be, to take them by surprise and take them out earlier on so they rack up less points. Or do you think we're going to see the 3-peat in week number 1?
My assumption would be the lowest kill player will probably consistently have lower kills. It's their job to anchor, watch the flank, etc. And that's what these really high-performing teams will be doing. It's like we're talking about statistics, talking about choosing a certain agent like Newcastle against choosing like Horizon or something. You're statistically more likely to win with a Horizon, whether you're like, as long as you're comfortable with her to an extent, you're statistically more likely to win. You're also statistically more likely to win if you divvy up the roles in the squad. Entry fragger, secondary fragger, anchor, and flank watch, etc. If you can play these roles together as a trio, you're going to be statistically more likely to win than if you're just a chaotic squad doing whatever, again. And this is where meta comes in and why meta can get stale in the top tiers of esports, because everyone's playing statistics. Maybe they will start passing the baton, though. Maybe some of the other players will start getting more. The last player will start getting more kill. We did see GCSB pass the baton round as we saw squad wipe from 2 different players, taking it in turns to just wipe out an entire squad.
Wow, I cannot wait to see what's going to be the last map of Storm Point. I'm very keen to see the hot drops yet, and maybe some of the teams that didn't quite break into the top 5 for the last 2 maps are going to change their drops. They're going to change their approach. They're going to decide, we're going to be more aggressive or are we going to be more passive? But Bigfoot, if you were in one of these teams that didn't manage to rack up that many points thus far, what will your approach be? What will your tactic be going into the 3rd and final map of the week?
Well, it's the last game of the day, and you only live once. And we saw kill Gen Z. One of the players landed on a trident and then drove off to a loot point. So that shows that the team actually splits up. If you could solo out that player 3v1 on Guild Gen Z early on, you might be able to disrupt the way that they're playing. So, you know, I would go for it. If I was one of those lower teams, I would just go for it. But also, what's more likely is we'll see some of these lower teams play a lot slower and really try and get those placement points moving forward, because that's what really gets you on the leaderboard.
Absolutely. Well, sadly, I don't think in the time they had between maps, the players had the chance of taking a look at how their opponents are dropping, but we are already into character selection. And I gotta be honest, I'm seeing less and less. No, sorry, I jinxed it. I was about to say I'm seeing less Bloodhound. No, the teams are going back to a multitude of Bloodhound players, similar to map 1. Map 2, they kind of were, well, less Bloodhounds, but yeah, you know, they really want to scan, and you said you only live once, and if you can see your opponents through the wall, maybe you can take their lives out sooner.
There's still 2 Newcastles. It's crazy. Mixing up the meta. Okay, it was Refrain, the name you were trying to remember. I did forget it too, otherwise I would have been able to help you out there. I'm sorry, but we are just getting to know these players as we move forward through this league, and I'm sure by the finals we'll know them very well and definitely know who to watch out for. Refrain is one of them.
Yeah, definitely. This is a hot drop, though. Their drop spot is the one. We have a east to west drop, and this is the area where we have seen Guild Gen Z drop the most. Is anyone else going to contest them? Never mind, actually, it's west to east. Nobody's going to approach them. We see Aston already going towards the vehicle. They are... they're very well practiced in this. You gotta admit it, Bigfoot. They know what they're doing. They will not be contested. They'll get all the loot they need. We already have a car in the 30-34 with Raid himself. Yeah, it's hard to question their approach because it's been flawless thus far. I don't think we've seen them finish either of the first 2 games with losing a single player. So yeah, they're just on it.
Yeah, and getting that early trident last game as well, you know, we talk about their positioning. You know, this is actually quite a big map with some quite horrible rotations. All these mountains and gates, etc. So trident can't really help. Here's one of the duos, the CC Warriors. I think this is the duo that finished quite high up, but with no kills. So they got good placement points, but they didn't quite have the kills of Chicobra's Spitters, who are a duo with 12 kills. We didn't get to see many of them, but we did catch the tail end of one of their squad wipes, and I was surprised to see how many kills they had on the board when we did. Completely mad, complete madness, man. 2 people, and it's, you know, you're 33% down. That's a lot.
Yeah, also very interesting comp here when you are running as a duo, having an Octane. Very unexpected, but you do have a lifeline to help you a bit with that. You might have wanted a controller, but obviously that's a dream. You don't have the 3rd player, so you might as well make the best of what you have.
Yeah, you know, like Octane and Lifeline is actually quite a weird matchup because Octane's job is to run away and Lifeline's job is to stay still and anchor and heal. So I'm not sure how she's going to do that when Octane's buzzing around the map on his stim, but we'll see how it plays out for them. Maybe Octane's going to calm down and just use that speed to loot and get around a bit. But yeah, not the best duo, I don't think, as far as agent selects are concerned, but when it comes to placement points, we saw them get really, really good, coming ahead of so many trios in placement points, so they've definitely got the ability to survive, but they're going to have to try and get some kills as well if they want to catch up with any of the other teams.
Let's see, are we going to find anything that we want to purchase? Meanwhile, we see Ushnug. Ooh, nice! Very good spray coming in through that open door, waiting for his team to join in. And DJ Senior just slightly too far away as they get laser from the distance, dropping their entire shield. You know, it's Pathfinder trying to find a path, not quite managing to grapple onto. But look at this rotation. We'll try to sneak up behind the opponent. No more shields, so that might be a very dangerous take as we have nice cracks. Very beautiful utility usage right now and making the space for Ushnug to just wrap up behind the opponents. Can they find anything though?
Yeah, it was a really good knuckle cluster there from CYC Crusaders, getting some good damage in. Looks like the push is coming in. We've got DJ Senior, had a scan out. Yep, there's a kill.
Oh, it's
the Motherload. Wow. The Motherload finished off one of the players. Must have tried to walk through those flames.
Oh, meanwhile, Cool Fighter and Benny exchanging bullets. Benny down to 2 shots, spotting them through the window, but Benny will manage to pop one of the shields. Drop very, very low. Also playing behind Benny, trying to maybe get the refrag if needed. Cool Fighter engages and doesn't come up on top of that. Duel has to disengage with only 1 bullet away from dying as we see the Bloodhound getting work done right now, but it's only 2 versus 3.
Here we have a different GCS squad. Freshy, Kai, and B2K.
Wow.
Freshy is reviving Kai while B2K's off, getting knocks and finishes off the squad in a 1v2 whilst the Rev comes through.
They're so low.
So low.
Yeah, and that will be the end of the night for, I believe, Benny, Giuseppe. Meanwhile, Cool Fighter, we were just looking at them earlier, was very low HP and manages to get 2 kills, taking Benny and Drop out. My good, as well as Astro. I think that was a full wipe coming in for Cool Fighter.
Wow. A lot of blood spill, down to 15 squads already. I think that's the fastest yet.
Absolutely.
I love the doors and windows in Apex. They're so much fun. The way you can see your enemy on the other side but you can't shoot them. The way you can just block the door by standing there is beautiful stuff. Some really, really good spray coming out from Dizzy Glizzy. DJ D elsewhere on the map has actually taken down DJ Senior and Ushnug. Did my grenade getting the Ushnug kill? DJ getting one of those kills. Of course, the extremely low health here. Gonna have to get healed up. You schmuck also trying to get healed up, but the enemy is pushing.
Great play. Dennis Bangalore make anything else happen. Breaking the shield and now gets shot in the back and taken out. fighting two players, but getting killed from the top window by their teammate. Now Nitro, no more shield, will have to disengage and try to reposition himself in order to pop the shield, but will abandon Akwasi. Yushmak and Nitro just want to stay alive. They're realizing there's so many teams dying. It doesn't matter if we lose our teammate, we just need to stay alive and let the others die so we can get some of those placement points. Can they get away enough from, as we see Yushmak getting shot from the back, but they managed to run, and that's a great disengage coming in from, I think, Hallriser's B.
Yeah, Chi-Cobra Spitters C is taken down to 2 players as well, so they're following in the footsteps of Chi-Cobra Spitters A, but can they follow in the footsteps of getting loads and loads of kills as a duo? And look at the northeast area of this map. Gravity cannons, everyone's dropping in now in this northeast area. There's 3 teams in a very, very small area, and a 4th about to join them.
After the first initial squads falling, seem to have quieted down, but not on this side of the map where you have Fresh just trying to get something with the Mastiff, but no, gets shot in the back and gets taken out. Easy Brother just arriving in time, will try to get the first aid going, but no, has to jump away, closes the door. Can you get back to your teammate in time? The door is being pushed, and no, Fresh will get taken out. Now you gotta fight for the loot. Judy's cracked, trying to come and wrap around them.
Yeah, it's 2 of the Newcastle squads against each other. Newcastle users, Easy Brother breaks the shield, but doesn't get the knock. Judas Cracked is getting the shield battery back in. Dropping in on the top of this roof. We do have confetti arrows. They're going to join the fight, full health. Oh no! KCV taken down extremely low. Going to have to take a second to heal before re-engaging. High ground getting taken again. A little bit of a reset here, getting the health and the shields back in.
Yeah, you don't want to lose an early duel in this third and final map. Every single point you can get, it might not matter that much this week, but in 6 weeks' time, well, it might just make or break your it might just be the difference between you making the grand finals or not. As we have Storm, 2 kills already and an assist after taking out a full trio alongside his teammates. KCV just trying to keep pressure, not allowing the opponent's team to disengage. They don't want to let them get away from this building.
Yeah, they're just re-smoking this exit, and really, really quick there. Saw the gold case, got the smoke out, went to have a look around. Now entering with the digital threat through the smoke. Only does 6 damage, I think, but there we have it. There's a lot more rotating around the back of the wall, going to the duel, but it does look like KSV will come out on top. Gonna finish them off with a little bit of cheek there, get the smoke down, wow, and some more loot in the bag for KSV.
And this is gonna be the 4th kill for them. Team 6, the Confetti Arrows doing very, very good, racking up the points. 13 squads left. Splendid. Goldman Bro and Licky just spotting some opponents, just trying to find a nice shot right here. 35, 36. Another one double. Just a few more needed, and nice crack. 42. Is that a solo player, though?
I didn't see anyone else. I don't know if they got anyone else on their team, but they were solo in that position at the very least. Here we are back to Gen Z, Guild Gen Z. The first time we've seen one of them with a little bit less than full armor. It just doesn't seem like people can even hit them.
Aston!
No way.
Okay, manages to slide away. Almost. Is one of them going to fall? Maybe for just a split second, as we have the arrow, bow and arrow just shooting away. Will get down, will get the down player off the map, and they're still getting pushed though. They know that Aston's low. They want to take that fight. Look at the frame, no.
Definitely the most pressure we've seen them in so far. It's Kappa taken down to quite low health as well, but they're just running around this rock, coming in and out of the fight, healing, taking it in turns. There must be really, really good comms going on right now. Smoke comes out from Kappa. Kappa needs to get a shield back in. Refrain's lost their shield. Refrain will make their way around to the smoke as well.
They're still getting kills.
At the top.
Refrain is getting low. It's Cool Fighter just putting the pressure. The other team though, Cool Fighter is alone. He gets the kill though. Aston gets taken out. Meanwhile, Goji on the back line is going to flank. It's Kappa and Refrain. Can Cool Fighter and Goji finally slay the dragon? It's Kappa. Cool Fighter only meters away 2 meters away. One is on the high ground, one on the low ground. But the Bangalore smokes coming in time, trying to hide inside of them. But look at Goji's positioning. They're unaware. They're cracking the player up top. Aston still wants to be
standing. This is exactly
No.
what Gen Z need. And with Aston standing, that damage put in there, I think they're going to come out on top. The closest we've seen them to defeat so far, but no one can take it from them, I don't
Goji!
think. No, but as I say that, Kappa is almost killed, but Goji gets taken down. And Kappa on the last thread of life gets the shield swap in quickly just in case anyone else is peeking off the top. Oh wow, we did. It looked like we nearly saw them taken out finally, but that won't be happening today.
Bigfoot, that was 1 versus 3. Granted, they took out one of the trios, and one of the other trios was only a solo player, but the other trio that could have gotten Guild Gen Z taken out just decided to disengage early on, as we have a nice drop in, jump in, spray, door broken, trying to get inside the hut and get the kill, sweeping the guns. It's the Ava, 8 bullets, gets 1, gets the kill. Banger is just doing the work, getting everybody out of the server.
Another team wipe for Benga. That is just amazing to see. And as we go back to kill Gen Z, we see them finish it off. Dude has cracked, tried to run away, make it a little bit further into the fight, but Guild Gen Z will catch up and get that final kill. It looked like Cobra Spitters, they managed to get a trio this game, but I'm not mistaken, I think they were taken out by GCSB. It's part of the problem, not being able to see the team names on top of them, but we'll catch up in a second with that. We don't see if we don't see Cobra Spitters A again, it does mean they have been taken out by the Benga squad wipe. Benga, 2 squad wipes in a row. So we're talking about Gen Z getting 2 games in a row, but the solo squad wipes coming out from GCSB is just absolutely phenomenal.
Only 8 squads, I think we mentioned this, but Hawkeye will get taken out from the air with a Hawkeye vision, I believe, by it was Aston from Guild Gen Z nonetheless. The Octane H-Ben just has to run away if they want the CC Warriors to get any more points. The duo is now down to a solo. Aston just going to slide in with a bull check and get the final hit needed for the down player. Yeah, I think the Octane player just ran away, and that's why you shoot it. That's why you're playing Octane when you're running a duo. You just want to stay alive for as much time as possible.
Oh, there's a Kraber. I do prefer the bow check myself, but someone might be able to make use of that Kraber. Yeah, I would also like to see in the duo, you know, instead of 2 opposing agents, like Octane and Lifeline, maybe 2 movement agents or 2 anchor agents together, so you can anchor together or move together. They're slightly opposing agents, hard to play together. Say Lifeline was a movement agent like Valkyrie, maybe could have boosted a little bit further off that jump pad, maybe get away with their life. I'm not sure how that could have gone different, especially with the whole squad of Gen Z behind you, but you know, at least the Octane got away, ran away, and keeps that duo alive a little bit longer. But as Gen Z try and make a move into the map, they do spy a team watching this choke point. What can they do about it? 1 shot from the bow check, going to do something, but they do need to fall back and make a bit of a plan.
Look at the tracking from KCV. Very good tracking right there, getting 56 and now spraying. I think that was about 5-11s. Pressuring this player right now. The Catalyst, though, creating some distractions. A bot just having to go back, but oh my goodness, Bangalore ult coming through. Will have to reposition himself. Storm, Ghoul, and KCV still in a good position. Dodging, bopping, weaving alongside this Bangalore ult. And trying to get closer to their opponents. They already have 1 kill and 4 assists.
KCV just tanked one of those bombs as well, just to move forward and keep the pressure on. You can just tank the edge of it, but if you're caught in the middle, it's generally all over. Definitely good to stop a push, though, and that's exactly what it was used for. It did hold them back a little bit longer, but I think Storm here, excellent shots there. Storm is now the new kill leader with 4 kills. Sometimes these kill counts get a little bit higher for one player, but it looks like it's a bit more evenly spread in this first game. 4 kills being the kill leader. Storm, KSV, and Ghoul, very, very nice on their health and shields. They do spy another player. Only blue shields as well. This is probably going to be a trio push, trying to guarantee this kill, confirm this area for themselves, and move forward.
That was a great attempt, though. Tijuana was trying to stay alive as much as possible, but the relentless pursuit from KCV. Goal in Storm in the end caught up to them, and it's 14 players left, 7 squads. That means there's, I believe, 2 trios and a few duos and a solo. Nice damage flying in from the top high ground of the tower, and it's none other than Gil Jinzi. It's Refrain holding them away with a flat line, just repositioning themselves, getting a piece of more of shield. Doesn't want to get sniped. But look at Aston. Speaking of snipes, this is not a sniper. It's a bow and arrow. 54. Keeps on going. Relentless. 70. 70 again. Aston, someone stop this map, man.
Only 36 hours left on the bow check, though, so we're going to see those being used and maybe a switch out for a different weapon as we move to the final circle. Bow check, really, really good at poking, really, really good at distance, but of course, when you get into that closer zone, you might want a shotgun or another automatic weapon moving forward, but whilst they still have this high ground on this vantage point looking around this circle, bow check is definitely going to be a comfortable weapon to keep on poking.
1800 damage being dealt by Aston thus far in this third and final map of the week.
Wow.
63 to add to that, 70 to crack. This is unbelievable. Almost breaking 2k as Aston does not want to let them get away from that rock. Very hot on their fingers, just waiting to see just a sliver of the opponent to take them away, Robin Hood style. But it's Ben, it's the Octane player, the solo, trying to stay alive behind this rock.
This is beautiful to see. How far can Ben take this? You know, Octane is the easiest agent to evade bullets with, and that's what Ben's going to be doing as this circle closes in, trying not to be seen. If they are seen, they're going to be trying to evade those bullets. And we see loads of spray going over there by the gravity cannon. Freshy's down. Kai, shields are getting replenished by conduits. And B2K still standing, but Freshy is unfortunately gone as they do finish off the people who are oppressing them. But now more shots coming in from a distance. This bow check, man. Oh my days, 2,000 damage.
I don't think if you add all of the remaining 9 players that are alive on the server's damage, I don't think you get how much Aston has gotten this game with the bow check.
Yeah, one of the most underrated guns in my opinion. Some people really understand how it can be, and in the right hands, as we see, it can deal so much damage poking, but no! Oh my days.
And it's only Aston!
Oh, Refrain taken out by Ghoul as well.
Oh, Kappa, no, somehow still alive. I thought that was not 1 HP, I thought that was 0 HP, but no, Kappa still alive. Refrain, the first casualty for the side of Gil Gen Z. They have had a stronghold on this tournament thus far, but now it's only 2 players left versus 7 alive, and it feels like it's 7 versus 2, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you know, there is no mobile respawn beacon unless you get it from the crafter right now, so they probably won't be getting Refrain back, so it's just 2 standing for them, and this might be the game where they can't secure first position, but, you know, I wouldn't put it past them to get 3 in a row still, even with only 2 players. They actually have the high ground as well, of course. So let's see how this goes for them, but 5 squads. They're probably going to want to play it slowly now, considering there's only 2 of them, but just keep this high ground as long as they can and play the edge of the zone moving forward, catching the other players off guard. It's actually quite quiet right now, considering we're on to the last zone. They're taking down the conduit ult so they can move forward safely, and maybe that conduit ult would have been a little bit better if they just waited for the zone to be moving, but now they've had time to destroy it. They've still got free reign of this high ground.
Spots 1. The bow check back to work. Only, well, you say only 24 more hours, plenty in store for Aston to just get everybody off the map. Meanwhile, nobody else is dying, but this is a very narrow zone trying to find the opponent. Look at H-Man. The Octane player is still alive, and that's the game plan. We talked about this. Stay alive as much as possible. Try to rack up those points and maybe shot someone in the back. Maybe B2K on the rotate right now. Try to get a kill on them. Bombs are flying in. But look, it's Pilzer and Ben getting into a skirmish, I think, at the edge of the zone. Aston is trying to spot someone, and he's aware of the position of a player behind the car. Meanwhile, Ben popping the Octane, trying to reposition himself. Gets shot in the back, still alive, but not for much longer, as it's Kappa. Sorry, actually, it's Aston. Aston somehow got Ben.
No way. New kill leader, Aston, now 5 kills. Still sending the bow check off. 53 damage there. Stuck behind that track. And Aston had some really good game sense there, checking those little sneaky points at the back of the zone there. Before the zone started moving. Oh no, the zone is now closing in. 3 squads left. What can Gil Gen Z do in a 2v3 situation? 2v5 situation. Aston GB taking down the low health. Going to take a chance to recover themselves. Exploding Thunder comes out on the floor. Doesn't seem to do too much damage, but yes, this high ground is going to prove crucial. Which killed Gen Z moving forward. Throwing grenades down at these little nooks and crannies, waiting for the zone to push people forward. Trying to get the timing right. There is 3 players down here. 3 players, but the low ground.
So much stuff flying in, but look at Aston playing on top of the zip wire, and now on top of the stone. It's Kappa gonna jump up and join him in the zone right now. Gets spotted, tries to get in position, but jumps on top of a player and tries to crack him. They get taken out. It's Storm, it's Ghoul, it's KCB. They're a full trio. They're dealing the damage. They're staying alive. Ghoul finally dies, and it's 1 versus 1 versus 1, and it's the end. Team 6. It's the Confetti Arrows. After playing a flawless Game 3, they managed to take all 3 players alive over the finish line to get the first win of their tournament.
Yeah, and that probably all revolves around Ghoul's kill onto Refrain earlier on.
Wow.
Yeah, if Ghoul couldn't confirm that kill, you know, that might have been a very, very different story. Of course, they had the high ground. Gil Gen Z had that high ground, but taken down to 2 players against 3 and being forced to jump down in front of those 3 players. They're zigzagging up on the zip line, though. I love to see that, but unfortunately it wasn't enough, and they had to drop, and drop they did, unfortunately, as we see the Confetti Arrows take the first place and prevent Gil Gen Z from getting a back-to-back-to-back victory tonight.
It was absolutely incredible. I don't think we could have asked for a better week 1 for the Student Cup Apex Legends Championship. It's absolutely unbelievable, Bigfoot, and they were stopped. Yes, Aston was putting in probably the best performance today, which is insane to say considering the fact that Refrain had 10 kills earlier today, but the damage output coming in from the bow check was unbelievable, and they still lost.
But over 2k damage, we're going to have to keep an eye out over the coming weeks and see if anyone can get over that, because that set a bit of a precedent here. You know, in a competitive lobby like that, 2,000 damage is really, really something to behold. And, you know, you might be able to get 4k when you're in a pub stomping match, but, you know, 2k in a big competitive match, really impressive to see. What a week 1. What a week 1. I cannot wait to get through to the finals. But of course, the journey will be as fun as the destination moving forward. It really looks like we've got some games on our hands. And of course, it is a round robin. So these groups will be against each other moving forward. We'll see different matchups, and also different rivalries starting. You know, early on in this game, we thought there might be a bit of a rivalry between GCSB and Guild Gen Z. But of course, we do have Confetti Arrows moving into that rivalry as well.
I mean,
this is just Guild Group A and B.
I love to see that Confetti Arrows getting a win with 11 kills as well, because they were the ones that they did place quite high up in the previous games, I believe. Where I'm looking right now through the previous leaderboards, and they didn't do that bad. I think they got a 4th placement in the 2nd map. But let's not, you know, speculate anymore. Let's take a look at the full Group A to D standings that look. Well, I believe it's still gonna have the. Oh, wait a minute. Confetti Arrows in 1st place, the GCS Owls in 2nd, and I believe we currently are only making a top 20 for everybody that's not Guild Gen Z, Bigfoot, because Guild Gen Z is on a level of their own, right? Everybody was like, Aston, let's ban that guy. Let's not show him on stream. Jokes aside, we do have them here with 70 points in total, closely followed by the Confetti Arrows that we saw on the previous screen. I believe they had 46 points, and now GCSB with 26, the Kai Cobra Spitters with 21. So pretty lonely at the top.
Yeah, 70 points in their group. The closest player behind them is 44 points behind. The closest team behind them, 44 points behind. GCSB, a really amazing team to watch, but they're not even halfway to catching up to Guild Gen Z after 3 games. That just shows the domination we're going to see from Guild Gen Z moving forward. Obviously, there might be some teams in these other groups that can challenge them, but it is really looking like they're going to dominate moving forward. So we're going to have to keep an eye out on everyone else and make sure we don't put our eyes too strongly on a Guild Gen Z moving forward, because there's so many different teams in this tournament that are going to be worth watching as well. We do have the G-Cobra Spitters getting up to a trio now instead of just a duo and coming off quite well. G-Cobra Spitters B in a different group here. They're on 6 and 6 and 12. CCSW Sandstorm, top of their Group C, 34 points altogether. And moving on to the final Group D, NCL Vikings, unfortunately, at the bottom. Honorable mention, though.
Yeah,
my city's only team. But UCB, A6A, 21 points, 23 eliminations, 44. So they are more than halfway behind Guild Gen Z. So maybe when we see Group B versus Group D, start to see some bigger challenges to Guild Gen Z.
Yeah, we see a Cambria and a CRC Inferno with 0 points. Maybe weren't quite ready to show up to week number 1, or maybe they even play. We did see a few of the unfortunate games when some of the teams didn't connect. But yeah, as we took a look at the standings in every single group, let's take a look at the overall standings, because that's what it's all about. It doesn't matter if you're topping your group, but you're not breaking into the top 20. And this is it. It's Guild Gen Z with 70 points as expected, but there's a very big fight. There's a lot of teams contending for that top 3 podium, with UPCB, Apex, and Confetti Arrows 1 point apart from getting that second place. But BD Bears and Sandstorm also quite close to the podium. GCS and the Colonel Cyphers not doing too bad. But let's take a look at the top 20, 10 to 20. Who do we have, Bigfoot?
G-Cobra Spitters A in the 11th place. Of course, they did have a couple of games where they didn't have 3 players, so maybe if they can get that 3rd player in, they're going to stay comfortably in the top 20. But if we're moving through to the finals tomorrow, this would be the teams we'd see. But we're not moving through to the finals tomorrow. We're moving through to the finals in April, and there's a lot more blood to be shed and points to be gained before we get there. How high can those top 3 teams take their points? Or will some of them drop down behind some of these others?
Yeah, time will tell. Yeah,
20th place only has 10 points right now, so there's definitely a lot of shaking up in that, the second top 10 to 20 placement. There's a lot of mixing up that can happen there, but I think our top 3 teams, it's safe to say, looking at their performances, watching them in their lobbies, that they will make it through to the finals. They are very, very impressive. Really nice to watch them tonight.
It is very, very good to see the level of play, and I'm glad that we didn't just stop at seeing a single squad dominating and winning all the 3 maps that we had on stream. And it's good to see that, even though, yes, well, they didn't win, they are still probably the favorites going into the next few weeks. But with that being said, who knows? Guild Gen Z might just be better than everybody else on Stormpoint. We don't know what's going to happen in about 7 days' time on World's Edge, right, Bigfoot?
And going to keep an eye out on Ghoul, see if Ghoul can start picking off more of Guild Gen Z moving forward. See who else can, of course, but Ghoul so far is the only person to get a kill onto our top squad, so keep an eye out on them moving forward. Moving forward, we will. We're going to say goodbye tonight, but in 7 days, you'll catch Vlad again. I'll be gone, unfortunately, but I'll be back the week after, and we'll move forward as this round robin goes on, mixing these groups up. It's been an absolute pleasure. So from me, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you to British Esports for having us and getting all these teams together, and thank you to Vlad for joining me.
Well, thank you so much, Bigfoot. Please go give Bigfoot a follow. He's got all of the details underneath. And huge shout out to everybody behind the scenes, our producers and observers. There's a huge squad. Go follow them online. You should probably be able to find the socials in the Twitch chat right now. If not, you can find them on Twitter at British Esports. As for us, well, the British Esports Student Cup for Apex Legends has just begun. So we'll see you in 7 days' time. Stay tuned and see you next time.